It is National Blood Donor Awareness Month, and it's almost time for the very first annual Utah State Legislative Blood Drive. So here in studio, we have Jeremiah LaFranca from the American Red Cross and Utah Representative Ryan Wilcox. Thank you both for being here today. We're so glad to have you. A lot of important stuff to talk about. First, let's talk about the blood drive. The first time this has ever happened, is that correct?
That's correct. So it's a great thing that we're having going on. We appreciate Representative Wilcox for leading the charge on this. Just raises awareness on the first day of the legislative session and really kicking things off with the right way. So
and Representative, we all know it's a busy time of year to say the least. So why take the time to do something like this?
You know, they asked me this question the other night, right? Why we wanted to schedule this, and there's a lot of crazy stuff that's going on in the world right now, to say the least. This is one of those things that we can do. You know, not a lot of legislative work happens on the first day, number one, right? Just mostly ceremony, right? This is one of the things that we can do to kick it off the right way, I think, and do something really positive in the community and you know, get everybody's minds thinking about, you know, why we're really there and what our purpose is. So.
And why we're there. Okay.
Yeah.
Walk me through, if someone wants to take part, what is that going to look like? It's on Tuesday.
Correct.
And what is that process going to look like from the time they show up?
So the best thing they can do is download our Red Cross Blood Donor app ahead of time.
Okay.
Get registered, set up for the blood drive, so that way you got your appointment, you can get your paperwork done ahead of time. And then when you show up and you get put in place, we usually take about 45 minutes to an hour to go through the whole process. So we try to make it as quick and simple as possible.
And Representative, how does that look like for you? How are you involved on Tuesday?
I'm the first one on the list Tuesday morning.
Okay.
Right? I signed up a while ago.
Top of the list.
Yeah,
there we go.
There you go.
Okay. We've talked about this recently, Jeremiah. This time of year, the winter, it's a time known that it gets pretty difficult in terms of blood drive donations. Why is that? And why is it so important this time of year to take part of it?
Yeah, so we've had a lot of winter storms throughout the country, and we've had about 400 drives that have been canceled. And so when that happens, essentially we start to see that drop in blood donations. It's not like that just magically gets taken care of. So we're about 10,000 behind pace in terms of units collected. And so it's something where we need to support the national blood supply to make sure that that is safe and it's current. When you think about that, regardless if there's a storm, there's still a need at those hospitals.
You've both acknowledged there's a lot going on right now. We talk many times here about the tragic wildfires happening in California. And tell me about how, if one person goes and donates, how can that help? How can one person do their part?
I love that part of this, right? And speaking of the app and really encouraging people to use that, one of my favorite parts of this thing now is that when I go donate and I get to watch it get processed, right? I watch it go through the whole thing, and no matter where I am in the country, I make sure to do this because I get to also watch where it goes, right? And I know what community that helped and the people that made a difference to. There's that part, and then there's the fact that I know plenty of people, and myself, who was in a traumatic an accident years ago, who've been the beneficiaries of these. And that moment, that day, that's all that matters, right? Is that they were able to do that. So you can be that connection, you can do that. That's why we're doing it, because it's something that we can do to help, even though we're not there. The blood from Utah goes all over the country.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Jeremiah, final word from you. We heard wonderful thing about how it can make an impact. What were your final words to encourage someone to go out and help?
Just think about the difference that makes. 1 unit of blood can save up to 3 lives. And so whether it's you, someone else, or a family member, coworker, whatever it might be, you know someone that's been affected by the need for blood. And even though you don't get to see the end result, you get to see where it goes. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you know you're making a difference in someone's life that's can be life-saving. So just appreciate those that support us with their donations. Encourage you, even if it's your first time, come out. You know, I'm not a big fan of needles, and I still go donate blood, so we hope to see you out there.
Okay. Again, Tuesday, the first annual Utah State Legislative Blood Drive. Thank you, Representative Jeremiah, for both being here today. We so appreciate it.
Appreciate the time.